Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, I'm going to give you some updates for veterans and SSI recipients. I've been getting a lot of demand for that. So yesterday I did an episode where I updated on Social Security, SSDI, RRB, and survivors of those categories. If you didn't see that, I will leave you the link below. There's some really good information there and a timeline for you of when you can expect to see your payout and some good stuff. But after I released that episode, I've got a ton of comments on my page about SSI and veterans specifically, and just wanting more information about the timeline of payouts, when you can expect, how you can expect to see them, because there's a lot of information floating around about if they're going to send you a check or a direct deposit. I am going to share all of the updated information I have with you. Plus, the IRS gave some new releases yesterday that is going to allow me to give you better and more accurately defined information. So I'm happy to be able to share that with you. So what I did is I just created some questions that I've been getting on my feed. So this is how I'm going to update you on that, by going through this and then sharing with you the new releases. But please watch the whole video. So if you're SSI or VA or even another category, I might address it. Watch the whole video. I will get through a lot of stuff and I will probably address your question throughout. So let's just go ahead and start. If some of these questions don't apply to you, don't worry about it. I'll move on to the next one fairly quickly. A major question I get is, if I get SSI and SSDI, will I receive 2 checks? Now, I get this in a lot of different ways. So some people fall into multiple categories at the same time. You won't receive 2 checks. So you only get 1 check or 1 payout per individual that qualifies. All right, so hopefully that clears that up. If I get SSI, Social Security, SSDI, and somebody claims me, will I get a payout or will they get a payout? The answer is no if you're an adult. No adult dependents get payouts at all. The adult dependent doesn't get it, and the person who claimed them doesn't get it. So that may change for the next stimulus bill that's being approached right now. And it looks like they are changing a lot of that. I mean, a lot of the stuff, if you want to be kept updated on the new stimulus bill, consider subscribing to the channel. There is some really interesting things that they're coming up with. And we're following it closely. We've reported on a few of them, but boy, does it look like they just want to give payments to everybody. I mean, it's like they're not even regulating anything in what they're coming up with. I know that's going to change when it goes to the Senate. It will. It will get argued out. But man, do they just want to pay everybody. So consider subscribing if you want to hear all the crazy new updates. And then when they finally do pass it, what's actually in it, okay? So we're just going to give you the straight information here. But if you're dependent on this first one and you're an adult, there's no payout. Let's move on here. If I get SSI or I'm a veteran, do I need to do anything right now? And I think people keep asking this question because they feel like they should have gotten their payment by now. And so they're getting like anxious, like, do I need to do something? Should I file? Maybe I should have filed, or maybe I filed and I shouldn't. You don't need to do anything. The vast majority of people who are SSI and VA don't need to do anything. That's 95% of you, okay? There's only a very small percentage that should be doing something. And primarily right now, that's if you have a dependent, meaning if you're on SSI or you're a veteran and you take care of a child under the age of 17, you need to claim that child through the IRS's non-filer page. I'll leave a link to that below. If you don't claim that child through that free filing of taxes, you won't get the $500 payout for that. Now, if you're okay, you're like, I don't really want to file anyway, I don't care, you're just going to get your automatic payout. Don't do anything. So the vast majority of you don't need to do anything, okay? And that's a common question that I get a lot. Okay, another question I'm getting quite often is about this Get My Payment tool. Now, I'm going to get into the timeline for when you're going to receive your payout in just a moment, but this Get My Payment tool. So this has been a problem for a while. A lot of people keep getting the status not available, or we cannot confirm whether you're going to get a payment, or whatever the readout you're getting is. This is what I'm going to tell you about that tool. Don't use it. It's really not helpful. If you use it because, if you feel like I just got to keep trying it and see if it works, if it does work eventually, wonderful. If you get a positive readout, that's excellent. But if you get a negative readout that's indicating it doesn't know your status or can't determine eligibility, just don't trust it. It's not reliable. It hasn't been reliable. It is true that they're supposed to be updating this tool, but by the time they finally get the thing working, they're gonna have payouts to most people anyway. So I would just suggest not to use it. So getting to the thing that everyone wants to know is, if I'm on SSI or a veteran, when am I going to get my payout? So you're going to get your payout, by the way. If you're SSI or you're a veteran, as long as you're not claimed as a dependent, you will get your payout. So when will it be? Well, on this channel, we have always held to what the IRS and the Treasury have told us, which is that SSI will receive their payout in early May. And veterans, they didn't really have any clear timeline on it. They've always listed that the timeline isn't established yet. So we've held by that on this channel the entire time. We've never changed up. I've given some ideas of when I believe it's going to be, but based off of some releases, press release yesterday on their own page, the Treasury's updated page, I can give you a more defined time period of when you're going to see your payout and how you're going to see your payout, because there's some misinformation going around about, well, this is how they're going to pay you, or this is how you're going to pay you. So I'm just going to share with you what is from the IRS page. I can tell you with near certainty that if you are a veteran or SSI, you will see your payout after May 5th. A lot of people have been saying, well, it's going to be May 1st. The reason that I can say that right now is because on the IRS page, they just did a release where they said if you're SSI or a veteran and you need to claim a dependent, and that dependent is under 17 so that you can get the $500 for claiming them, you must do that by May 5th. That is now on the IRS page. So why would the IRS pay out people on SSI or veterans before May 5th if that's the deadline? The answer is they're not going to, at least not on a mass scale. So based off of the IRS's own news, I can tell you for near certainty, if you're SSI, your payment won't come until after May 5th. And if you are a veteran, it won't come until after May 5th. So that's the start point. What's the end point? May 15th. And the reason that I can tell you that it's going to be by mid-May is on another release that the IRS did, which I'm just going to read right to you, which says this: SSI and VA recipients who receive compensation and pension benefit payments should receive their automatic payments by mid-May. So May 5th to mid-May is what the IRS is saying, and that fits with what they've been saying all along, which is early May, and what we have been saying on this channel too. And I'm going to tell you how you're going to get that payment in just a moment, but let me vent here just for a second, because I've gotten some comments where people have said, well, it's changing up, it's been changing. Not on this channel, it hasn't been changing. We have been giving the exact dates all along, and so far we have been right on with everything, primarily because we're just following what the Treasury, the IRS, the Social Security Administration, and the VA are all saying, along with the Commissioner of the IRS and any other person who has any other reputable information to share. That's where our sourcing comes from, nowhere else. And so far, although they've been late on these payments, and although their tools work like garbage, and they haven't been clear on a lot of things, generally, though, a lot of the information still has been correct. So SSI and VA, you will receive your payment between May 5th and May 15th. Now, how are you going to receive that payment? I'm going to share with you exactly what it says right here. Okay, you ready? The Treasury Department will make these automatic payments to SSA, SSI, RRB, and VA recipients. Recipients will generally receive the automatic $1,200 payments by direct deposit, direct express debit card, or by paper check, just as they would normally receive their benefits. So a lot of people have been saying it's going to be by check only. Not according to the IRS's page, it's not. So they're saying you're going to receive it the same way you normally receive your regular payouts. Or if you don't, you'll get a check. So that's how you're going to receive it between May 5th and May 15th. I hope this helps you guys out. Like I said, we've been really sharing the most accurate information in a simple way. If you enjoy that, if you like that, please consider subscribing. It helps us out a lot. We do sit here for a while and just research all this stuff and then just give it to you. And that's really our goal on this channel, is to take what's really complicated out there and to simplify it, with what is true, the correct sources, and another stimulus is coming. And if you guys want to have a place where you know you're going to just get the accurate information, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you come along with us. As always, we will catch you guys next time.